Greetings, saber fans. This build is for Mike Ween. He sent me this saber, which is a modified and painted OWK. Looks kind of like a Sith saber. The wear and tear on it's because it was spray painted. He said he wants that. This was initially installed with Nanobiscotti V4. I've reinstalled it with Proffie. If you watch my installing a Proffie and an OWK, this was indeed that same very saber that the Proffie was installed in. If you look here, I'll include some pictures of what the final install looks like. So as I said before, this is a Proffie Neopixel saber. It was installed with Proffie. 1.305 is the software, and it's got the SA2CC's button mods. So some of the things I had to do this saber to repair it, this was stripped, so I had to rethread that, the saber piece. I redid the primary button and turned it into a secondary button, so the red button is now your aux, and I turned the jewel into your primary. How I did that wasn't ideal. It would have been nice to thread a Prestel valve into there, Prestel valve converter, but whoever installed this prior to me had already drilled out this piece of fairing, so I couldn't do that. I solidified the old LED bezels. They're still shine through, but I actually put some stuff in there. I also had to redo the LED module, redo the wiring. I wasn't satisfied with the gauge wiring that was used in this, so now it's all 22 gauge supply feeding the Neopixels and 22 gauge coming off of the recharge ports. Greetings, saber fans. This is going to be the demonstration video for Mike Ween's modified OWK installed with Proffie board, Neopixels. That's the Neopixel blade that I built in the Neopixel blade video. And this saber's got a lot of new Smoothswing fonts to me. Some of them I knew about, some of them I have heard, but I've never demonstrated on a saber. But Mike went all out. He went over to saberfont.com and he went to open source saber fonts and bought pretty much everything that was out there. So everything from Sith, all the stuff from Fonts by Fuerza, and even a font by Proplicator that I didn't even know Proplicator had made is on here, which is going to be Vader's Assassin, which is a Smoothswing font by Proplicator that's available on saberfont.com. Please support our font artists by going to saberfont.com and purchasing these fonts for your Proffie saber. And also, BAM! Supporting the TRA in 2019, which is the unofficial home of Teensy Saber and Proffie board. So it's a cool place. A lot of stuff happens on those forums if you're not on them. So Mike requested a bunch of custom fonts on his saber, and every font on here has background music. I'm not going to play the background music on them all. Some of them will be a surprise. But on the first blade, which is Fireblade by Thowry, we have Kylo Ren's theme. Lock up, blaster block. Next one is One Vader by Sith, and the background music to this is the hallway scene. I'm not going to play it, y'all have all heard it. Boom! White spark tip on a Fireblade, blaster blocks. It's just an awesome font by Sith. And I did all standard blades, so these aren't customer requested blades. He requested all these crazy blades, so I put some standard blades on there. This is Luke Skywalker by Sith. It's awesome. Just a normal green blade with a flare, base flare on ignition. lock up, blaster block, force sounds. Now I believe I put the Bard scene as the background music on that one. Now this is Fonts by Fuerza. This is the first time that I've demonstrated this font. This is by Fonts by Fuerza, and this is going to be the Negotiator, and this is just a normal blue blade, and the background music to this one is the OB duel from Revenge of the Sith. And I know this is more of a Rebels or the Clone Wars sound font, but felt it matched. Next font is Light by K Sith, orange blade. Next font is Vengeance by K Sith. This is a crazy red cycle with like this orange spark tip. Watch, or green spark tip. Watch that again. Pretty crazy. Rogue One Vader. This is another crazy. Watch that spark tip. It's a blue lead on the spark tip. It's insane. This is basically a lightning blade with a crazy flicker and pulse. Thing's bright, gives you a headache, but that's why I put you some normal blades on there. But cool nonetheless. Background theme to that is the Imperial March. This is basically like a this is like a General Grievous font. It's got General Grievous's theme in the background. All the force sounds are General Grievous quotes. But anyway, it's crazy. It's a blue fire blade, K-Sith crossguard. Lock up, blaster blocks, retraction.
Kind of felt you. I won't.
This is a crazy race cycle, and the theme is Ray's theme. It's a cycle to sky blue with a white spark tip. It's crazy blade. Customer requested. All the force sounds on that are BB-8. Now we got General Kenobi again, and this is the blade that was requested for this font. This is the Negotiator by Fonts by Fuerza. And this is just this crazy blue strobing blade that the customer requested. But it's the Negotiator again. Background of that is OB I believe. Yeah. Prototype 3 by Alex Redmond, or Prop Al Builders, to a green fireblade. Thing is awesome. Y'all know I love those. Now this is Lesson of Betrayal by Fonts by Fuerza. I knew about this font. I've never had it in a saber, so this is me demonstrating this one for the first time. Lesson of Betrayal. Fonts by Fuerza. It's got really lighter, smooth swing sounds, almost like wind, with the like force lightning going in the background. It's kind of wicked sounding. First time I heard this one, I wasn't sure about it, but the more I hear it, I like it. It's kind of crazy. Force sounds. Cyber Project from Alex Redmond. Prop Out Builders. This is a purple Fireblade. Luke Skywalker, and this is a crazy purple cycle. This is customer requested, and the theme on this one is Luke's theme. This is requested by the customer.
Vader's Assassin.
Vader's Assassin. This is the Proplicator font that I never heard of. And, you know, I knew Tom Leach was working on some fonts. I didn't know he had them. But, you know, the customer said, yeah, I bought Vader's Assassin on saberfont.com. Here it is. I never even knew it. So, good job, Tom. I guess it's like a Star Killer font. Vader's Assassin. Background is the Imperial March. Yep. Now, customer wanted it on a purple blade. I do what the customer wants. It's got a cool red clash, cool red lockup. Blaster blocks. This is Broke Flex, and this is a repeated Broke Flex. The customer didn't want this. This is my blade for him. He already had the font. I went ahead and added my Broke Flex Rain Blade. Rain is the background music. Bam! Rain Blade to Broke Flex. Lock up, blaster blocks. Oh, 4 sounds are all BB-8. I think there's like 20 of them. Cyber Project, this should be your Rainbow Blade. Cantina 2 music. Bam! Rainbow. Every Proffie and TNT Saber needs a rainbow. If for nothing else, because it's just so silly. Really popular at parties, man. Every time I fire up the Rainbow Blade, people are like, holy moly, that's crazy, and it is. And then the last is your battery meter blade. So that shows you, you know, we're at about half to 3/4 full there. It's blue. And then you go to your next font.
I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
K-Sis Crossguard. And again, the background music on that is the Kylo Ren's theme. This is an awesome saber. Bunch of awesome fonts by K-Sith, fonts by Fuerza, Proplicator, one kind of by me, which was that Hodgepodge General Grievous font. But the bottom line is this saber's pretty cool. Got a little bit of shine through action there in the old LED modules. And, you know, it's just, I mean, it's not an OWK anymore, that's for sure. It's just not an OWK anymore. But the customer was wanting a Sithy saber, and, you know, I think he's got one. He's got a Sithy Proffie saber. Thing is awesome. And if you'll stand by, you get to the instruction portion of the video. So, Mike, because this is a Proffie saber and Proffies do not yet have deep sleep, you have to remember that when you're through playing with your saber, you're going to have to remove the pommel and put the kill key into the kill key slot here. Bada bing. You can get to the Proffie here by sliding the chassis out. Try to avoid sliding this chassis out as much as possible. You should only slide it out if you need to get to the US micro USB port here, or to the SD card, which is on the underside of the Proffie, which you shouldn't need to mess with that. I've uploaded all the fonts you requested and everything, so this is golden. So generally the chassis stays up in there. The saber can be disassembled from here down. Just make sure you're holding the chassis when you're unscrewing it so you don't twist the wires up any more than they already are. The switch wires are fragile, they're 30 gauge. But again, the only thing you should really have to remove is the pommel to put your kill key in. When you want to play with a saber, just remove your kill key right out of there.
The weapon is initializing. Done.
And then you hear it boot up. I did keep the same speaker that was in here. It's a 24mm bass speaker. I'm not sure which brand because I didn't take it out. So to activate the saber, you push the jewel bezel, which is now in crossguard. To deactivate, a long press on the jewel bezel. To get music track on any font, you press and hold the jewel bezel. This is Kylo Ren's theme, and then activate with the music playing. To switch fonts, you click on the auxiliary button, which goes to your next font. This is Vader, Rogue One Vader by Sith. Activate, hit the jewel. Blaster blocks is the red button, the auxiliary button. To get a lockup, you press and hold the auxiliary button. To get tip drag, you point the saber down and press and hold the auxiliary button. That gives you just tip drag. To get a force sound, you double click the jewel. The other part of the SA2CC's button mod is you do have volume control. To get into the volume menu while the saber is in idle, press and hold the auxiliary button and then release it. You'll hear a beep. That beep tells you you're in the volume menu. To increase the volume, hit the jewel, but it's already at max. So to decrease the volume, hit AUX. When your volume's decreased how you want it, press and hold auxiliary. You're out of the volume menu. Activate the saber and reduce volume. Back into the volume menu. Increase the volume back. When you hear that tone, you're at full volume. Press and hold the aux. Out of the volume menu. Also, another way you can get lockup is you can either press and hold power or press and hold aux and clash the saber. And then lockup will continue until you release the button. That is all of the button features on your saber. Of course, you recharge and save the battery in the recharge port right here. So you just remove the pommel, plug in your charger port into that right there. Hang on a second, we'll bring one in. You just plug your charger right into there and plug your charger in. When the green light's on, the battery's full. Remove that, should hear boot.
The saber is initializing. Done.
And you do. And we'll put our pommel back on and we're ready to rock and roll. That's the instructions for how to operate it. Now we're going to see the instructions for inserting your blade. Alright, so to insert a blade into the saber, you want to put it in. Now this has two different 7/8 layers inside of there, so you have to make sure the blade's going in straight and then you get past both of them. Once you get the blade all the way into the saber, you should feel a slight spring tension. That means you're up against the TCSS adapter, and then just tighten your blade retention screw right here, which by the way, that was another mod I had to do. I had to fix the blade retention screw. It's now 832. And then to activate the saber, yeah, I didn't get it all the way down. So if your saber doesn't work, you didn't get the blade all the way in. So I'm going to remove the blade tensioning, and I'm going to, oh yeah, now it's all the way in. I had to get past that second one. So sometimes it may feel like the blade's all the way in, but it's not. You have to make sure that the blade is fully seated. Tighten your blade retention, activate, bam. We're in like Flynn. So to remove the blade, simply loosen the blade retention screw and pull out your blade. And you can see that there's pretty good blade depth there when it's fully seated. So I'm going to put my thumbnail on the blade where it's fully seated, and you can see you have a good, 2.5 inches, almost 2 1/4 inches of blade depth when the blade is fully in. This blade is awesome. If anybody saw my blade building video, it was actually the blade that I built for this saber. So this 7/8 inch Neopixel blade was actually built for this saber. And if you saw my blade building video, that is the blade for Mike Weem's saber, which we're getting ready to send back to Mike. Done. Thank you everybody for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, like my vids, give me a thumbs up, give me a follow. Check out my Facebook page, Megtooth Says Sabers. I build them as I can. Probably have a commission drawing coming up next month. The reason I haven't done one lately is because my son's getting married this month. So I didn't want to stack up my bench full of jobs because I got a lot of stuff to do for my son's wedding. But at any rate, may the Force be with you, or the dark side, as it were.